Welcome back, everybody, to SEMA Live here in West Hall at the Las Vegas Convention Center. I'm Chris Jacobs, and I hope you are enjoying your behind the scenes and inside look at SEMA all week long. We're getting towards the finish line, but we still have a couple hours left before we wrap things up here on Friday. And joining me now in studio is Tim Cromer of CVT Tents. Good to see you, my man.
Hey, Chris. Good to see you.
So
thanks for having me.
We're here in West Hall. It is the overlanding and trucking center of the universe right now.
That's right.
And your product is essential to really getting the most out of your truck when you're out camping and overlanding, and tell us about your product.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're rooftop tents primarily. That's the mainstay of our business. We were created in Bend, Oregon back in 2010.
Nice.
So we've been around for a very long time, before overlanding was cool and before it actually had a name. So we like to say that we're the OG of tents. And so now we're actually here this week with new product, and we're kind of having a relaunch of the brand with all new products.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
You know, walking around here in the morning before people come into the show, I like to check things out, and the tents on the back of the trucks have become so sophisticated. It's like you're walking into a campground or a freestanding tent on its own, and you don't really realize until you look around the side that it's actually attached to the back of the truck.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, one of the things that, talking about evolution of tents, you know, the clamshell has been one of our mainstays, one of our best-selling products for a very long time. And so this year we actually have an annex that comes out the back of it, which is industry-leading for the tent world. And so now you can come right out of that tent and come into a dry area, make your way down to the truck bed, and without having to get out in the elements.
Nice. I remember that overlanding really became a popular feature and aspect at SEMA. Maybe in 2019-ish, it really kind of started to pop up.
Just
you
before
saw it
COVID.
happening.
Yeah, we were.
And now it's everywhere. Yeah, just before COVID, and with the pandemic, it really became kind of necessary because people were getting out and leaving their houses, but where could you go? Well, you could go out into the wilderness.
That's right. And of course, everybody still wants to be comfortable, when you're out and you're doing these journeys and adventures. And that's really what, when you get into a rooftop tent, the best thing about it is you get out of the elements. You're not laying on the ground. You don't have rocks up under you. If it rains, you're not sleeping in a mud puddle, and in some places, you've got animals that you have to worry about, coyotes, wolves, that kind of thing. And I always feel better sleeping to where a coyote would have to climb my ladder to get to me. Right?
Good luck, Mr. Coyote. Can we throw the shot of the product up there once again so Tim can kind of describe to us what we're looking at? We just had a nice shot. There it is, right there in the back of that TRD. What are we looking at there?
All right, so that's our medium-sized mount hood. Again, this is brand new product. The mount hood has been around for a very long time, but what we've done is we've come through and we've upgraded the hinges, we've upgraded all of the components that go in it. It now has a diesel heater port, so that way you can pump heat right into it. It has interior lighting with LED lighting built in. And then as you see on the back side there, just below the saffron colored strap, that's where the annex begins, the black part, and it's black topo, so it's got a really cool look from a distance. You can't really see the topo, and then as you get up close, then you're able to see that. So just fit and finish has been a big focus of ours in this tent. It also has a 3-inch mattress that is very comfortable. That comes with the tent. The annex comes with the tent. As you can see, you can also mount stuff onto the top of it. Other accessories, currently we have the water port, which is also one of our products. That's a way that we can store water.
That's that bag hanging below the
that's
opening?
Actually the big tube
on top tube on top, okay.
On top of it. The bag below, that's a shoe bag. And so it's hanging to the ladder mount. The ladder would go there just for safety purposes. We've pulled the ladder. But that way you can crawl up in there, kick your shoes off, drop them into that bag.
As you're getting in, yeah.
Yeah, and not get mud and muck all inside the tent.
And what is the cover on the rear window of the pickup truck?
So that's a really neat product that's going to be coming out in the spring of this year. So that is for the folks that actually car camp inside the vehicle. And so when you're doing that, you've got to have some type of ventilation, so that way you don't have too much condensation and temperature and all of that. So it's actually kind of like it's tent material that's sort of like in a bag scenario that goes over the door, and then from the inside it has a bungee cord that you pull, and it tightens around the door frame, and then that becomes a window. And it has a visor that hangs over the top of it, so should it start raining, you can keep the window down, still get that ventilation without rain coming in.
Very cool, man. And I love the name, Mount Hood. Shout out, of course, to Bend, Oregon, correct?
Yep, and that's Cascadia Vehicle Tents, so the Cascadia Mountains. And so that's all of our tents are named after the mountain ranges around the Oregon area.
That's cool, man. I love the logo with the mountainscape above the letters there.
Yep.
So very, very brand specific. Are you working with several of the OEMs to make products that are specific to their brands?
So we're not working with OEMs. We really want the tent to be able to get to the customers, the end users. So we have what we call white glove service dealers. So that way you can go and have it installed. Take care of it. It's kind of difficult if you've never mounted a tent. They're right at about 200 pounds, so you kind of have to know what you're doing to put it on. So we have dealers that around the country that do that for us.
They'll explain to the customer exactly
and
what to do.
Person
how to
comes
install,
in, drops their car off. Next day, they're ready to go camping.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. Man, that just seeing that product shot right there, it kind of makes me want to go camping, the way that pops up like that.
Yeah, let's go.
Very, very cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, so have you had a chance to walk around the SEMA show at all? Or are you pretty much
so not too much. We're a pretty lean crew, so we don't get to rotate out and walk around too much, but definitely been watching Instagram and your feed to be able to see what else is cool out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like you, I'm watching everybody's Instagram too, because I've been at this booth the entire show.
Yep.
So I did get over to Central Hall a couple times to see some various stuff, but a new experience being here in West Hall, and it's great because only the second year for West Hall.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
really just like kind of sprung into action.
It's taken
so
off, yeah. And to see some manufacturers that we didn't used to see here, just because it wasn't their, it wasn't their audience, and seeing that change has been really cool. I've been coming here since 2016. And so, yeah, it's been cool seeing the evolution, especially of the overlanding segment.
Absolutely, and like you said, you guys are like the OG of the hobby and the
That's
business,
right.
And you got to be so proud that overlanding has become so popular, and that your product, therefore, fits right into the lifestyle.
Yep, absolutely.
Amazing, cool. Tim Cromer, CVT Tents. Where can people find you?
CVT.com. We're big on Instagram, so check us out there. And yeah, then your local overland shop, make sure you go in and ask for CVT.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Appreciate you,
Chris.
brother. Thanks, Tim.
All right,
Thanks
man.
for coming into the SEMA Live studio. All right, let's check out a little bit more social media and what people have been doing, shouting us out at SEMA Show and using that hashtag SEMA Show. Let's see what people have been putting up.